Guys, welcome back to the Daily Blue Weekly podcast. My name's Bluey.
My name's Gabe.
And we have a special guest, Mr. Joel Pearse.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, man.
Very good. We were just talking about drug smuggling.
Yeah.
Former days. Well, we've only had convicted felons on. Well, you haven't been convicted, but we had Andrew Hamilton on last time.
Yeah. I'm better than him. I never got caught.
What a fucking amateur.
I retired undefeated.
Perfect record.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. How are you, man?
Yeah, good, man.
Very good. What's happening? You and Gabriel have been crossing paths at the Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Were you there for the bombing?
No, he missed the bombing, I think.
Oh,
No,
he said yes.
I sent him the video.
Yeah, I've seen the video.
Yeah.
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 You sent me the first video and I was like, no, that's really good. But like, honestly, when I saw Brad, I was like, oh, Gabe sent me the video and I'd half typed, if I had that set, I'd fucking kill myself.
Yeah. We were actually saying that out the back, but how like the bar just keeps getting higher and higher the better you do. And it's like, he's like, oh, I do okay. And I'm just used to that now. I'm like, if I had the okay sets that Joel has, I'd be like pumped. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then it's hard to go back.
Yeah. Oh, there's times that like I'll do well and be like, that was fucking terrible. And get in the car and be like, I hate myself. I'm never doing this again.
Even though objectively you've done well.
Yeah. You watch the video. Like there'd be times I think I've bombed. I'll go home, watch the video, and I'll be like, they laugh the whole way through. Like it's just the feeling of when you're on stage.
What a terrible game you guys are playing.
It's stupid.
It is stupid. I'm the reverse. I'm like, I think I'm doing well. Then I watch it back. I'm like, oh, that was like 3 chuckles. I just narrowed in on those laughs.
I'm going full time with this. I'm a comedian now.
It's sophisticated self-harm.
Yeah, it's sick. It's
Not a
sick.
bad way to put
You
it.
even hear like the big names talk about it. They'll be like, they'll have the exact same thing. It's like they'll play to like a stadium full of people and like, yeah, I suck.
No one's immune.
Yeah, people are paying like a lot of money to come and see you.
Yeah.
You're like, you still think you stink.
you do gigs that you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Like Gillis was talking about that recently, where he did like a corporate in a fucking football stadium. I'm sure you heard about it. And it's just like, why? And I've done like I did. Oh, you know Kings Valley, the Egyptian restaurant down here.
No, I haven't been.
So some bloke had seen me at the club, found me on Crowd Pleaser, and booked me to do his 50th birthday party in the restaurant. And
Fucking comedy in a restaurant.
bro, I've done it a few times. This was the worst one.
Gets better every time.
Wasn't the worst as far as like the guy actually came to the club. His birthday was on the Saturday night. He came saw me on the Friday night at the club. I'm like, you've seen me before. You've seen most of my material. I guess you haven't seen me for half an hour. So okay.
Yeah.
But I get there and I'm like, where are we setting up? And he's like, oh, the owner's got a microphone. He literally pulls a microphone from behind the bar, but the cord goes over the bar.
Beautiful.
So I literally have to just kind of drag the cord over the bar and stand close to the bar.
Perfect.
And 90% of the people in the restaurant are there for this 50th and are aware that comedy's happening. But then there's 10 people who are just trying to have dinner.
And there's a guy with a
And I'm
microphone.
like, all right, so cum jokes. Like, enjoy your fucking dinner.
Come on, tits, am I right?
Yeah. And, yeah, brutal. But, like, pays well, so you put up with it.
You got to do it.
Like, wasn't recording it because why? But I had my timer on and I'm like, I'm going, all right, I'm fucking got to be about halfway through. You look down, it's like 6 minutes. All right, sweet. 24 to go.
That's harsh. Well, that was Gabe's fear because obviously you guys do the comedy club like for the open mics, and then we're talking about because the Stag do another open mic night. That was Gabe's kind of primary concern is like, yeah, there's a few people there for the open mic, but then there's plenty of people who are just there for a beer. Yeah, they do not give a fuck.
Oh, they walk out.
Yeah, they leave.
Yeah, they leave.
I'm trying to go. I think you should go. I think you should go.
No, you've got to do you got to do the bad gigs.
Yeah,
because it's like steel sharpens steel. The worse the gig, the better you get. The easier it gets to deal with bad stuff.
100%.
But I got booked for it was another 50th. I don't know why I'm getting booked for 50th.
You got that charm, mate.
The lady hits me up. It's my husband's 50th. You're a surprise. I'm like, oh, surprise. That's not a good fucking thing.
Surprise comedy is, yeah. That's a big ask.
It's in an Indian restaurant. And I'm like, okay.
I got plenty of accents for
in
this.
Jural. Yeah. I didn't do the accent, but I took a piss out of them eventually. It was the only thing they liked.
Yeah.
It was in Jural, like out in Sydney somewhere. So I drive there, 2 hours going, what the fuck am I doing?
Questioning everything the whole way out
Flop
there.
sweat. I got there an hour early, so I'm sitting in the car park.
Good, I can just sit here and be nervous.
Going through, like, I've written a list because she's emailed me and been, I've have you watched the video? Because are you sure that
Is this what you want?
Is this what you want? I'm like, She's like, yeah. I'm like, please watch the video. She's like, because there'll be grandparents and kids and stuff there. I'm like, you need to watch the video. She goes, okay, no swearing, nothing about sex, no killing anyone. I'm like, you've just
comedy.
You've just taken all my material.
Literally, probably everything you said in the video.
Yeah, pretty much. It's either sex or someone fucking dies in my jokes. So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting in the car with my set list and I'm going through the jokes. I'm like, just putting lines through them. And like 20 minutes and there's like 4 jokes there. And I'm like, do I fucking just do street jokes? Like, what do I do at this point?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can do crowd work a bit, but I've got to keep it clean. I can't rip on them too much. But I got up there and I was like, so who works in IT? And half the cunts put their hands up. I'm like, yeah, all right, sweet. Paid up front.
Good.
If you do a private, get paid up front.
Because if you fuck it up,
if you ruin their night, you don't want them holding on to the cash.
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot harder to go and ask for your money if you fuck it up.
But yeah, like did the 20 minutes there clean. I don't know how I did it. And like some of my jokes I did some of my jokes, but just cleaned them up, took the swearing out.
Which is a skill in itself, like on the fly.
Yeah.
I think.
But they didn't work because it's not because the swearing makes them work. It's just the rhythm and the flow of it. So I was like, I'm going along and I'm like, and then yeah, that's how that joke ends.
What would I normally say here?
But they loved it. I got a photo. The photo is hilarious. I got a photo with the husband and wife afterwards, and it's like it looks like a fucking hostage situation. They're both really happy, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's so
just
good.
happened.
So they were Indians, though.
Yeah. Full fucking Indian 50th.
They seem to be pretty good sports, the Indians.
Yeah. Well, I asked him. You said your wife said she really loved comedy. Who's your favorite comedian? And he reels off these 3 like Indian guys who are like I've never heard of. They do comedy in fucking Hindi or whatever. And I'm like, well, then why did you book me? Like
Big white guy.
Like you literally just went on the website and me and Ben McLennan are the only 2 cunts that pop up.
She saw your Darby Raj.
Yeah.
Was like, this guy.
He's got a beard close enough.
Yeah.
So we get booked for weird and wonderful stuff all the time. But yeah, do the shit gigs because they help.
It does.
And the stag can either be there's no in between. It's either fucking half full and it's a good time, or there's 2 people
and 20 comedians.
20 comedians, and it's a bomb fest. Everyone eats shit, and you learn from it.
And you go drive
But
home drunk.
if you can crack those 2 people, you feel like a fucking king.
That's mad.
Because everyone else is eating shit, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna try something different, or I'm gonna do. And yeah, it happens, but generally everyone eats shit.
I will do it. The first 2 times I thought I was doing okay, like in my sets, I was like, I'm never going to fucking bomb ever.
This is fucking easy.
Yeah, what's the fucking big deal about this shit?
Are you going to do comedy when you go over to Bali?
Well, is there an opportunity to? Have you been there?
Yeah, no, there's comedy over there, but I guess they probably had enough bombing.
Yeah.
Joel Pearse.
Joel Pearse, everybody.
Joel Pearse. How long have you been doing stand-up for?
7 years.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And you were just saying, so you're from Melbourne originally?
Yeah, started in Melbourne.
Hectic. When did you come to Newey?
2022 moved up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Met a girl on Hinge when I was down there, and I was like, oh, what suburbs do you live in? She's like, Newcastle. I'm like, I haven't heard of that one. Is that out past Footscray somewhere? Like, where's that? And then I'm like, she's hot. So I was like,
Obviously.
how long's that drive?
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, so we just started flying back and forth, seeing each other, and I was looking for work at the time, and I was like, I'll have a look for jobs in Newcastle, and I got like 11 job interviews up here, so I was just like, fuck it, pack the car, drive
Hectic.
up. Now we've got a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking
Are
oath.
you guys still together?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Love brought you to Newcastle.
Yeah.
Shout out Hinge.
Yeah.
Shout out Hinge.
Oh, dude, literally, I was sitting at home fucking flicking through, and it was an ad came up for Hinge, and it's like, this is the last dating app you'll ever need. And I was like, oh, all right, I'm just trying to get laid. I'm using all the apps.
Obviously.
I'm like, all right, fuck it, do it. And I'm like, oh, it's got different, leave a voice note.
It's a bit more fun,
prompts
isn't it?
and all that shit. And so I was like, I'm actually going to fill this in earnest, not just trying to get laid. I'll like da-da-da. So I'm flicking through it, and that night, like 20 minutes after having Hinge, we met, and we didn't, like, to this day, we haven't stopped text. Like, we're together now, so we talk to each other every day. But just
Just
it was
work,
literally the ad was correct. It was the last dating app I ever
That's
met.
the Hinge.
Brought to you,
Brought to you by
Brian.
Hinge. You'll have to
awesome.
move interstate, but it's worth it.
It's worth it for love. That's awesome.
So, had a baby together January this year, bought a house October last
Congratulations.
year.
Hectic, congrats.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Fuck yeah.
Did you have any like good dating app stories, like maybe catfishes or anything? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Good question.
Went on a Tinder date and when we did a drug run through of a house.
What?
So
Elaborate.
Sounds awesome.
so we matched with this chick and organised the date. We're going to go. I was playing basketball that night, so I invited her to come watch me play basketball.
Yeah.
Then we'll go out for dinner or whatever afterwards. So
How'd you go in the game? Turn
crushed
it up for her.
Triple double.
You got her.
always
Duncan.
not then, but there's another story about Duncan. I'll tell you in a bit. But
God, I wish I could dunk.
you're still young enough that your knees and ankles.
I would explode if I
That's the
tried to
worst.
dunk.
I am short, Joel.
Yeah.
I did not have that in me.
Yeah, fair enough. So she came to the game, did all right. Always played better when I had like a
Girl
girl watching it.
Yeah.
He's a showman. The guy's a showman.
Got to turn it on.
he's
The
always
guy's a
been one.
showman.
But like in this advanced age, I was like, I guess my mid-30s then. I was a little less athletic and a bit more of an enforcer. So
Thug.
the older you get, the more you throw elbows and grab jerseys. But that was
Got to show those young fellas, mate.
100%. So anyway, game went well, whatever. Had a shower at the stadium, and then we're like, yeah, so we'll go get some dinner. She's like, oh, can we drop by this house? I just need to pick something up. I was like, yeah, no worries. So
This is awesome.
we drive to this place. We get there. It's like a shop front.
Suspicion hasn't been raised for you at
No,
this point.
not at all. I'm just like, she's got to pick up whatever she's got to pick up.
Just pick something up, relax.
Even if it was drugs, like, cool, whatever, get whatever you need. We pull up and it's like a shop front, and it's not uncommon in Melbourne, like, the shop front, there's a house
On top and
above,
shit,
or
or-
it's just they've put the curtains in the front
Oh,
and
true.
they use it as a house.
Yep.
So anyway, she knocks on the door, girl opens the door, she's like, fuck off, da, da, da. And I'm like, all right.
Guess she's not getting what she wanted.
No. So I'm like, okay. Door closed. She comes back. She's like, can you come with me? And I was like, all right, yeah, whatever. Because I'm sitting in the car and watching this happen. So I go over and she knocks on the door. She's like, let me in. And she's like, oh, fuck off, fucking bitch. And she leaves the door open. This girl walks away. We walk in. Crack house. Like
Proper trap house.
broken, like the broken light bulbs that they've been smoking
Beautiful.
out the whole nine.
Oh, yeah, the light bulb. Yeah.
So we go upstairs and there's a dude blown out on G in the bed.
What's G?
Yeah.
GHB.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he's blown out. He's fucking gone.
Gone.
Like,
Gone. Alive or gone? Gone.
she's in. She's starts yelling at him, slapping him around. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And then she starts going through the cupboards and shit in that bedroom, and I'm standing in the kitchen like,
She's still just looking for her thing.
yeah.
Jeez.
I look over on the kitchen counter, and there's just like a bunch of like machetes and knives and like weapons. I'm just like, all right, cool. She's like, all right, let's go. Like in a hurry, all of a sudden. And I'm just like, all right, what's going on here?
Fuck.
We're going down the stairs, and this girl who's opened the door, she's coming up the stairs, and then I'm standing in between them, and they're fucking fighting.
Ew.
Like proper, like throwing
Like just
hands.
no,
Oh,
just yelling at each
Yep,
other.
Yep.
And the one at the bottom's holding a handful of cash.
Ooh.
And the girl behind me is like, take the cash. And I'm like, well, I've got to make a fucking decision here. I was like, well, she's going to fuck me, and she's a junkie. So
Yeah.
I was like, hand it over.
Chivalry's not dead.
Yeah, she's like, fuck off, cunt. And I was like, I'll kick you down the fucking stairs.
Oh, yes, Charlie.
Well, like,
Give me the cash.
when you're in, you're in.
You want some pussy? Do anything for pussy.
So, yeah, we took a few $100 off this girl, and she'd taken a few $100 out of the cupboards and some, drugs and stuff.
How good's that?
We went to casino and got a fucking hotel room.
Bonnie and Clyde.
But it became
And that's why I use Hinge, not Tinder.
it became pretty apparent that she'd picked me off Tinder. She's like, 6'5".
Yeah, enforcer.
Yeah,
Tattoos.
looks So,
And then she watched you play-
she watched me play basketball. She's like, this is my man.
He's a rough guy.
Yeah. Yeah, dated her for like 6 months.
6 months. Shit. How many more drug run throughs did you do?
No, none.
No more.
No more.
It's disappointing.
That was just to see if like you were her type. You know what I mean?
She wanted to know if you're right or die.
Yeah. Some girls like a bad boy, man.
Yeah.
That's loose.
Yeah,
That's very loose. Do you have any good Tinder stories, Gabby? Were you on Tinder or Hinge or anything before
I
you met
was,
your
but
lovely
like
partner?
I am like a pussy.
Yeah.
So like I would just like use it and it's like, hey, let's talk on Snapchat and then just be a sleaze bag.
Yeah.
That was basically what I did.
You're adorable.
Little cutie.
I was too pussy to meet up in person. I met my girlfriend in person. So that's how it went.
Oh, that's traditional.
Yeah, through work. What about you, Blue? Any Tinder stories?
Nah,
for me?
just cringe ones. Just like, there's one when I was in Ireland. I probably told her, but like, she rocked up with a mate.
You
and
did
they
tell
were,
me.
and they were super rude to me.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm going for a cigarette. And I just never came back. I was
Yeah.
like, you guys suck.
I feel like being on them overseas, like if you're single, would be the move. Like you wouldn't have to struggle too much at all, would you? Little Australian flag in the bio.
Yeah, well,
or
this chick
something.
was, yeah, that's what I did. I was like
Yeah.
Aussie in Ireland.
Yeah. Match.
Yeah, and but this chick was a Kiwi, funnily enough. And I was like, oh, that's
Boring.
Aussie. Yeah, but gay. Next. Yeah.
And now you work with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what? I found the old Kiwi girls go off in the sack. I don't know what it is.
I've never had sex with a Kiwi.
Yeah, no, they're
Good
Yeah.
The
roots.
aggression.
yeah, something like that. I don't know what it is. They just mental illness. I don't know. Like it's
Wrangling sheep.
Kiwi girls tend to be
There you go.
pretty good in the sack.
Fucking oath.
Had me a little map out for a while, crossing them off.
Yeah. One of those ones you can like scribble out the country if you've visited,
Yeah.
but you're just doing it if you've rooted someone from
Yeah,
there.
well, I didn't literally have a map, but I had a mental map of like, all right, that continent's done. Next.
Tick. You get most of the way through.
Yeah, I can't. There's nothing that really springs to mind that I didn't
Real
sample.
Real globetrotter. He's a man of the world.
Yeah, worldly.
Well travelled.
Well, Melbourne's a melting
after
pot.
I left my ex-wife when I got divorced, I was like, never again with Australian girls. I was just like, I'm done.
Is your partner now from Australia?
No,
Oh, really?
Kiwi.
How good's that?
no, she's not Kiwi. She's Greek.
Oh, awesome.
Hey,
Like Greek,
brothers.
Greek from Greece. I picked up on that in the last episode when you mentioned she went to a Yale.
Yeah.
Hey, the
But yeah, no,
boys.
she's Greek from Greece, not
Yeah.
like Australian Greek.
Okay, so you don't get to say much.
What's that?
Well, she speaks over you all the
Oh,
time.
no,
or?
yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, you're aware.
I know,
I
mate.
don't get to finish a fucking sentence.
Yeah, my missus is only half Greek, so only half the time.
Yeah, half the time.
Yeah.
The Greek freaks.
Good food. Yeah.
Great food. The best.
Shout you, yeah, man. I fucking eat good on Wednesdays.
How good's that?
Steak, chips, fucking schnitzels, lasagna. If you fucking go that way, I'm not a lasagna man. There we go.
There you go. There's that.
Well, you don't like cheese, and that's the main ingredient
Exactly.
of lasagna.
Yeah.
What do you do for work now?
I'm a psychologist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
I
interesting.
keep it on the down low because of the way my material is. People are like, you help people.
Yeah. Yeah, I always find it interesting with comedy, or even like with podcasting, because it's like it's always a concern in the back of my head. It's like, oh, you could say something that could potentially impact your professional life. It's easier for me because I'm a fucking scaffolder, so like,
Yeah.
they're all drug addicts and straight out of jail. So it's
Yeah,
like it's gonna be I'm gonna have to do something pretty heinous,
Yeah.
potentially. But for professionals, I always think like, oh, it would be a real concern. It's like particularly, I mean, your material, like,
I keep it on the down low with work, like generally with
like
work.
as in like people at work, you don't tell them you do stand
No,
up.
but I got found out pretty quick at this new job.
Yeah.
We were starting a new service for this company. I won't name them, but someone came in who worked at one of our other offices, and she's like, "Have you ever been to the Newcastle Comedy Club?" And I looked at her like,
No.
"Yeah." She's like, "I saw you on a date," and I was like,
Shut the fuck up.
"She's like, no, you're really funny." Blah blah blah. I said, "Yeah, cool, thanks." Like,
Yeah.
just don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
And then I avoid giving anyone my personal phone number because if they have TikTok or Instagram, you instantly get.
The contact thing. Yeah.
And sure enough, like I gave my phone number out to a couple of people, and I was just like, "All right, it's fucking countdown till this happens."
Yeah.
And then someone goes, "Why didn't you tell me you do comedy?" I was like, "Well,
I hate talking about
it's
it.
not relevant." And they were like, "Oh no, it's really good." And went around the office, and everyone was kind of cool about it. Just asked the same dumb questions that people usually.
So tell me a
ask.
joke, Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, funny man. Oh, funny guy.
I was like, $39 Friday night, Newcastle Comedy Club. But I went to like one of the opening days we had for the service, and our general manager from like up up north came down, and she was like, "Oh, Joel." So I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I guess it's time to change the old last name.
Yeah.
That's generally what people do if they have trouble with work. They change
on social media.
change their surname. Their stage name. They'll change their surname. Or
Well, I
change
didn't know Brad Bishop was. That's not his name.
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been calling him Bish this whole time.
Me
So I didn't know.
There's actually a few of the newie comics that have had that recently. They've taken the last name out and used their middle name as their last name.
Yeah, it makes sense. I even see like mates when they become teachers, they change their names because they don't want the kids finding them.
Smart move.
Yeah.
And I have that with my clients too, because my business card has my real last name on it. So if they fucking decide to Google me,
Yes.
they're like, "He's fucking talking about me." I'm like, "No, that's a different suicide joke."
That's everyone I get to speak to.
Yeah. But I don't talk about work. Like any job I've ever done, I give it like 6 months to a year before I'll mention anything from it. But patient client, I got enough fucked up stuff in my. I got enough fucked up stuff in my own life. I don't need to be like, "Oh, I was talking to this junkie today." Whoo!
Yeah.
Also, it'd be hard, I suppose, like as a professional, you probably wouldn't want to make jokes. Like,
No.
you take your job, like it's not, you
No,
probably
that was
wouldn't.
seriously.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, the job itself, there's plenty of opportunities for humour in it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Break the ice. Someone's just told you the most traumatic thing of their life, and you're like,
It's pretty gay, bro.
Yeah.
Your uncle did what?
That's gay as hell.
"Yeah, but did you like it?" Fair. No, that's pays the bills.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And what were you doing that in Melbourne before you moved up? Or were you just doing bits and
Similar
pieces?
kind of
Similar. Yeah.
Worked in juvie, youth resi, youth mental health, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
See. What got you into comedy? When what did you say 7 years ago?
always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like since I was a kid, it was the grade 6 camp or whatever. I told some teacher that that's what I wanted to do, and I got an award at grade 6 camp, like most likely to become a stand-up comedian.
Sick.
And it was always in the back of my head. I was always like, as a kid, memorizing like my favorite stand-ups like routines, and I'd just like recite them. And I remember girlfriends being like thinking I was hilarious, and then we'd watch stand-up. It's like, "You lifted all of that shit." I'm like, "I never said it was mine." It's just a funny thing to say. Yeah. She's like, "Geez, you've got all these amazing premises," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, that was Chris. That was Chris Rock."
Yeah. I'm Rick James, bitch.
I'm surprised you didn't twig when I said the N-word 50 times.
That was a lot. That was a bit more than usual.
Wanted to do it forever, and was like, I was a musician for a while in Melbourne. Like,
What sort of music?
so I was in a band. I was a rapper.
Oh, sick.
Let's go. I thought I wanted to be a rapper too.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
A couple creative white boys.
But no, I got a couple of albums, and was in a band for a really long time. So there was like hip hop, jazz, reggae kind of band. The High
The
Society.
big three.
The
Yeah.
High Society.
Yeah.
Hey, good.
So yeah, that was really good. And then so I was doing that for ages, and there's always the banter in between songs and stuff. So I was kind of like flirting with it, but didn't know how. It's that thing of like, well, how do you do it? Like, where do you sign up? Where do you go? Didn't know anything about open mics or anything like that. Got divorced and was like, fuck it. Like,
There's my
my
opportunity.
life's fucking ruined.
I want to talk shit about this bitch too.
Can't see my kids. Can't fucking,
Yeah.
I got 40 grand out of a fucking $1 million house.
Beautiful.
I've got my car and my shit in my car, and that's it. So what else have I got to do?
100%.
Nothing
I'm
to
living in a
lose.
fucking share house again, so I guess I'll go out every night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I just started open mics, started running my own rooms in Melbourne. Pretty infamous one called my room is called Dumpster Fire Comedy.
That's mad.
Yeah, we
Great
ran it in in a shop front. There was a house, and everyone thought that place was a crack house too, which was fair because
We did heaps of crack there.
the show was in the front. Like, you could look at the show through the front window, but we'd do it in there. You'd get like, sometimes it would fuck all people, sometimes it was 20 people, but you could smoke, and we were selling joints over the bar, and we'd just go buy a slab and sell cans for $5 each.
Hey, good.
We'll buy the book stuff.
The guy that had the house was he was selling weed and other stuff in the back. So while the comedy show is going on, people are walking through the crowd out to the back
To buy drugs.
to buy drugs and then walk back through.
Proper
That
party
sounds like a
time.
fun place to be.
Oh,
To be
dude,
fair.
it was the best because like I was just starting out. So for me, it was just like, well, I've got my own room. I can host and do 20 minutes every night and try and get better quicker. And we ran it every week through COVID. Not through COVID, sorry, up until COVID started. So it's like end of 2018 through to 2020. And then, everything got locked down. We didn't do anything. And then when we came back, we did it in a warehouse instead. So again, really like clandestine, no fucking liquor license or anything like that, but we're still selling booze and everything else.
Yeah.
You could smoke inside.
Yeah, good.
But when we came back from COVID, because everyone was so starved for everything, we were doing 2 shows a night and selling them out.
Because people were just thinking to get back out there.
Yeah, and it was also a bit different. Like they weren't worried about. There was no fucking QR code to check in. There was no. We don't care if you wear a mask. We're all fucking smoking weed. Like, go for gold. And running same lineup, but 2 shows a night. So we did like a 7:30 show and a 9:30 show.
Fuck, that's sick.
And it was fucking awesome. And got good fairly quick because had my own room. And I guess that's like advice to a lot of young comics, especially in a bigger scene like Melbourne or Sydney. And you'll see it. They'll start their own room. Then they definitely have a place to perform.
Yeah.
It's hard to get on certain places. Even when I moved up here at first, open mic was just open slather. You just turn up on the night, write your name down. But it got so popular that it had to go to the sign up and then we'll let you know if we've got space because there's nothing worse than an open mic where there's fucking 68 people on the fucking lineup.
Yeah.
And 67 of them stink.
Yeah. And it goes from you've got 5 minutes, but then there's so many people, it gets cut down to 4 minutes and then you've got 3 minutes. And then it's like, what's the fucking point of doing I can't even do a setup in fucking a minute and a half.
You're potentially doing 3 minutes a week or something.
Yeah, what's the point? And then there was a lot more open mics in Newey at the time. Now there's just the Stag and the club. I shut one down.
You shut one down?
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that.
Where at?
Black Butt Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's an open mic there. They put me on first. And there was this
Undefeated.
18th birthday party.
One shot, one kill, baby.
Yeah, 18th birthday party sitting at the table at the front. So mum, dad, the 18-year-old and his girlfriend, a couple of his mates, and then a 13-year-old who's sitting right near the stage.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help myself. So I'm like, well...
To the 13-year-old?
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm like, how you going, mate? Crowd work. How you
Who's
going,
hot?
mate? What are you going on? You got a girlfriend? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you fuck her yet? He's like, no. I was like, what is your fucking dad teaching you? And just on, and then went on to the 18-year-old, and I was like, well, you obviously fucking like just It was all about these kids having
Rooting.
sex.
They're hot. Kids
No,
are
I
hot.
don't think I ever got to any material. I just kept tearing into this family.
And their sex life.
Yeah, because
Teach your kid to fuck.
yeah, couldn't. Yeah, so generally I do my spot and I bounce. So I stuck around for a couple more people and left. And that mum complained to the owner. And I was like, hey, dickhead, don't have an 18th birthday with kids in the middle of a comedy show. Like, you could have sat in the bistro. But
That was the
They
last time the
canned
buck
it after
butt.
that.
grand opening, grand closing.
That was it.
Yeah, there was the RSL in Cardiff, but that was a fucking nightmare gig. What else do we have?
Is it the Orient or something? Did they
that
used
was
to?
before my time.
Okay, yeah.
The Ori, what was the other one?
That would've been a good
Crown
pla-
and Anchor was another
Oh,
one.
the Crankhead had it, yeah.
I think when I got here, they ran the last one, but that had been going for a long time. And then there was Watt Street Comedy, which was the Newcastle Comedy Club before the Newcastle Comedy Club.
Okay.
James and then were running that as Watt Street Comedy Club. And then, they started up there.
They're killing it now.
Oh, bro, I'm so lucky to get on the ground floor there. Like, I came up in the first month or 2 months that it opened. So, like, I was able to, like, get in, make myself a part of the furniture from the start. And, it's great. It's better than 99% of gigs in Melbourne.
Yeah, that's what do you notice between the two coming to Newcastle? Obviously doing stand up down there as well. Is there a big? Because I know like a lot of people, Melbourne seems to have a rep for being like a bit clean and a bit like
Yeah, fucking woke Tardistan.
yeah. That's basically what I was going to say. Yeah, yeah. Is there a noticeable difference for you?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
When I've gone back down to Melbourne to do shows and I eat dicks and I'm like, this just crushed 2 nights ago in Newcastle. I was like, oh, it's – people say it's like the working class, you know – Newcastle don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
Like the people are just, they're up for anything. Whereas everybody not everybody, but your blue hair pronoun gang in Melbourne are really worried about, oh, well, if I laugh at that, what's everybody else going to think?
And am I a bad person for laughing or whatever?
It's like, yes, you are, but just laugh anyway. Like, we all know we're pieces of shit. Just enjoy it.
Like there's venues and gigs that have opened up that kind of pander to that kind of stuff as well. So it kind of feeds itself.
Yeah. That's fucking super interesting to me because being here just feels like normal. It's like people going up and saying jokes and people are laughing. The fact that there's a whole different demographic where that shit is just like not on.
It's the same.
I just feel like it's not comedy.
It's the same in Newtown in Sydney.
Well, that was one I saw. Benny McLennan. Did he like not get a gig because he's a big fan of Butterfield? And they were like,
he opens for him. He's about to open for him for his every capital city.
Yeah, it's so sick. But there was some joint that was like, no, Benny can't perform here because he opens for Butterfield because they're like, we don't want that here.
And that's
like,
why me and Ben work together.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, it's fucking comedy. Like, what do you? Like,
it's okay to not like it. That's fine.
Yeah, 100%.
But like, come and don't laugh if you don't think it's funny.
The audience votes with their laughs. If you don't think it's funny, don't laugh.
Yeah.
If you're offended, well, that's your fucking problem.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't affect anybody or do anything. It's like a Steve Hughes bit. He does a whole bit about, well, what happens if you get offended? Nothing.
Yeah.
You're offended.
You go home cranky.
So what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a big thing. It's like, no, everyone has to fucking do what I say.
Yeah.
It's very selfish.
Oh, we all need to think the same thing and believe in the same stuff. And the rules change every fucking week with whatever it is, you know, whether it's what war or thing we're protesting this week. Like, you know, it's been Palestine in Melbourne for a year and a half, and then this weapons expos just showed up in the last week. Have you seen that?
Nah.
Oh my God, it's the best.
What, in Melbourne?
So they had a full military weapons expo.
Sick.
And
Everyone went, obviously.
mate of mine, Jared Goundry, ex-military, really good comedian, he like showed some footage from inside it and showed like both sides of the thing, but showed footage from inside. It's fucking hectic. There's like tanks and fucking missiles and robot dogs with fucking bazookas on top of them and shit.
Awesome.
Cool.
Objectively cool.
Objectively sick.
Objectively cool.
That
Robot
rules.
dog, bazooka.
Yeah.
If it's rolling up Beaumont Street, that's a different fucking. But yeah, objectively sick, and it's there because it's there and whatever. But well, of course, fucking Melbourne, like Tardistan, is all the Centrelink recipients have gotten together and they're like, "Why we're not fucking having this? We're not stop funding war." Blah, blah. But they're out on the streets pushing the cops, fucking violently protesting. It's like, hey, do you not understand the
hypocrisy?
How retarded that is?
Yeah.
They're like, no more violence. I'm punching a cop. And it's like, yeah.
We were in Vegas and there was a huge Free Palestine march on the fucking Vegas Strip. I was like, this is the last place.
Yeah.
We're all here sinning. I was like belted on chalk gambling at the time. And I was like, what the hell is that? And there was a huge, like thousands of people marching down the Las Vegas Strip. I was like, this is the last, like no one here gives a fuck.
I got into a fucking argument with a punter at the club not long ago around the same thing. We were doing, that was the new material night. And I was not having a good time.
You're bombing.
It was going bad. I got one new bit worked really well, and then everything else was sucking bags of dicks. So we got a bucket on stage, and the audience put in suggestions, and you pull them out.
Or like premises or some shit,
Just
right?
premises, and then you can riff off it. And like a couple of times I got new bits from doing it, which is like you pull it out, and it's just like, oh, I tell a story about this, and then I'll like just like the Tinder date, I'll go, oh yeah, I've got a fucking story about that, and blah blah blah. Then you finish it, and you go, let's fucking tighten the bolts on that and put a few jokes in it. It's a bit. So anyway, pull the first one out, and it's like, how do you solve the conflict in the Middle East? I'm like, oh, that's fucking hilarious. Great.
Yeah.
And
That's a fine idea.
instead of doing a joke, I was just talking about last time I was in Melbourne and the protesters, and they're literally stepping over homeless people to go buy a fucking scarf and protest a war that is a million miles away, that it actually is not doing anything. And the point of the thing, what I was saying, I was like, this isn't funny. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. This just happened last week, but you know, protesting's just virtue signaling. He's like, da da da. This guy in the audience is like, fucking is not.
Yes, it is.
I'm like, it is, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, what was the last protest that actually achieved anything?
Yeah.
And he goes to talk, and I cut him. Classic technique. I cut him off. Go, exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, I can't fucking meet me up the back, which for me is code for I'm going to be gone when you come to meet me up the back.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be long gone. Or if I am up the back, let's fucking rumble, cunt. Like, we're not having a conversation. I'm throwing you down the stairs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we'll get to that story another time. So anyway, I'll pull another thing out of the hat. And the next suggestion was, when was the last sexual experience that made you go, oh, brother, ooh? And I was like, oh, when I fucked this guy's mum wrapped in a Palestinian flag. The audience fucking popped huge for it. And he's like, fucking mother joke, slowest. I'm like, you write a fucking your mum joke on the spot off the top of your head. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It was also a callback too, dude. Like, fucking give me your respect.
Then I went home. I was so pissed off. I went home that night and I wrote like 50 your mum jokes just to prove him that it's not easy and it's hard to write a good one.
They're a well-crafted your mum joke. That's beautiful.
What was my favourite one? I was like, oh, your mum's in the top 1% of OnlyFans refunds.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, then he wrote a big fucking essay on Facebook, which got sent to me, and it was just like inaccurate and one-sided. But yeah.
Well, there's just no point like whinging about comedy, full stop. It's like, I didn't find it funny and that's as far as it should go. Really?
It's not my premise. You don't go to a fucking art gallery and be like, I don't fucking like that painting.
Yeah.
Cancel that painting.
Like to come and, it's like you just didn't like it.
If you don't like a movie and you're watching it, you walk out. You don't.
Although we were just talking about The Last Kill Tony, where they just aggressively booed. They just how many's in Madison Square Garden? Like fucking probably 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And they didn't like the jokes. They all just started booing. It was fucking brutal.
That's New York to a T.
Yeah, yeah. They were like, you have to be really funny. If it's anything less than that, you're getting booed.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, you get some lemons. I mean, like you say, like the comedy club rules, and like probably 98% of people go in there with the right attitude, but you would just see some dickheads.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Audience members and comedians alike.
Bluey, I want you to imagine you're at the gym. You've been doing the same routine there for a while now, benching the same weight for months, but you've been dreaming of upping the ante, and you decide today you're going to chuck some extra plates on the bench press.
Thought you were going to say steroids then. Because I have been thinking about doing steroids.
Even better, mate. You go down for your first rep and you start to feel you've bitten off more than you can chew.
Been there.
When a beautiful, jacked, handsome man comes over to you and spots you through the rest of your workout, you're impressed. And when you ask for his name after all is said and done, he whispers in your ear, I'm Phil from PK Mortgages.
Oh my God.
Now, you may have cottoned on by now, guys, that was merely a metaphor. Phil won't be able to help you through your reps at the gym, but he will take away all the daunting and stress that comes with getting a mortgage or a loan.
He will. He definitely will. This is how good he is. Now, I know we suck this bloke off every week, and he is a sponsor of the show, but I am using him at the moment. He did just get me and my partner pre-approval for our home loan.
Let's go.
For our first ever home loan. Amazing. The other thing, which I stress every week when we do this ad, is it is like I'm asking Phil 50 dumb questions every day.
Yep.
He writes straight back it's very good because like normally if it was like a broker I didn't know or like I'd be hesitant to be like, hey mate, what the fuck does this mean? Just all this shit that you just have no idea about, genuinely have no idea about. I just ring him and go, hey Phil, what's that? And he goes, don't worry about it. Or yes, do this or don't do that. I think on Saturday, his Saturday.
Yeah.
He works.
Yep.
His Saturday. Fucking probably 9 phone calls and 3 or 4 emails straight back.
Easy
He's
as
the
that.
fucking man.
Would it be fair to say that you trust Phil?
I trust Phil a lot.
You were going to go with my life, but you walked that one back.
Trust Phil with the biggest financial decision of my
There we
life. Yeah. Phil's the man.
Yeah, guys, if you guys are looking for a loan, a mortgage, anything, maybe some gym equipment, maybe you're starting a gym, you can contact him or the team at PK Mortgages on 0420 660 804 or head to pkmortgages.com.au. That's P for plates, K for kilos.
Nice.
Mortgages.com.au.
Seamless.
Or hit the link in the show notes.
Love you, Phil.
You know we love our footy here at Daily Blue Weekly, and as rugby league fans, September is all about two things: finals footy and sexual health awareness.
Yes, September is Sexual Health Awareness Month. And unlike drunken, unruly NRL fans hurling abuse at a game, did you know that sexual health problems, reproductive issues, and sexually transmitted infections don't discriminate?
What?
No matter your age, gender, or race, if you're out there rooting, you can get an STI without even knowing it.
With finals footy upon us, start treating your sex life like a first grader with Stigma Health, Australia's largest online STI clinic.
With Stigma Health, you can skip the trip to the doctors and get your test results sent straight to your phone. If you have Medicare, bulk billing is available and you can get a referral immediately so that you can get tested today.
This September, get your sexual health up to a premiership standard. Visit stigmahealth.com.au or click the link in the show notes.
I was back on the piss on the weekend.
Something different, eh? Mix
It
that up.
was. And then obviously being on the piss, neglected to do my duties, household duties, one of which was food shopping.
It happens.
Got home Monday, was like, fuck, I have no food in the fridge.
Fuck.
I was tired and sad for a big weekend. And then I was like, oh no, it's Papa Macro's delivery day.
Let's go.
And that sadness of having no food in my fridge was immediately alleviated by having lots of really nice healthy food in my fridge. And then because sometimes the other thing I do is I'll do the food shop, but then if I'm hungover, like the bare minimum is get the food. I get the food, but I will not cook it.
Yeah.
So
Been
then
there.
I'll come home on a fucking Monday after a day of work, still sad and hungover from the weekend, and open the fridge and there's just raw chicken there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, fuck. But not with Papa Macros because there is cooked. Everything's cooked. Everything's ready to go. You literally just nuke it. And you got this beautiful, healthy, tasty, and it's what you need after a big weekend too. I need the vegetables. I really need some vegetables.
100%.
And I got them. I got them. And you can have them too with our mates at Papa Macros.
This sounds ridiculous, but stop wasting your money on groceries, brackets, that you're not going to cook. If you're like me or Blue where you buy food and you think, all right, I'm going to cook a mad feed, and you end up getting hungover and you don't bother cooking it, you're wasting your money.
It is a waste of money.
Go to our friends at Papa Macros.
You guys know the deal. Locally sourced, chef-prepared meals. They get delivered straight to your door in your hour of need, particularly when you are hungover and busted from a large weekend catching up with old friends. Papa Macros are there for you. You get a discount with the code Daily Blue, all one word, capital D, capital B, 10% off your order. And it is coming into silly season. It is coming into pissing up season. I recommend these as a good backup if you, like me, plan on neglecting your duties in the next few months. These are for you. That's not what they're for.
No.
They are designed for people who look after themselves, but they also double as being a nice safety net for piss wrecks.
And just good feed.
They're just a good feed. I fucking love them. We love them. Papamacros.com.au. Links in the show notes. 10% off code Daily Blue. Go and get it.
Thank you, Papa Macros. Soulcat Design. Spring is among us. If you're in Newcastle, this side of the world, it's fucking heating up.
Spring has sprung.
It's well and truly sprung.
Spring fucking sprung. And then it did spring because it came out of fucking nowhere.
And you know what you should be springing into?
Fucking water.
Sweet, sweet water from a stainless steel water bottle brought to you by our friends at Soulcat Designs.
Mine's copped a pizzling. I got the big dog. I got the, what is that, like a 1 point? I think it's 1.9 litres.
Yeah.
It's copped a hammering on the job site.
I was going to say you'd be due for a new one, but you don't need to.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks beat up.
If you're an
but it's
aesthetic
still-
man, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into aesthetics, I'm clearly not. They look, and they do, if you work in an office or something, they're great. But if you're knocking around on the job site, it still gets the job done.
Yep, they
It's
hold their own.
It's a sturdy vessel.
It's not going to break on you.
Nah, sturdy. Soulcat Designs, they're Australian owned and operated, which we love.
It is good.
That is great. They talk about your beer money going offshore. You know where your water bottle money's staying? Right here in Australia when you buy a Soulcat. And if you can do that, you get a discount code as well. 10% off, code Daily Blue, all one word.
Capital D, capital B.
Link is in the show notes. We fucking love Soulcat. We were talking about it just the other day. Like comedies, it's a very weird pursuit. I suppose like most art, really, but it is such a weird pursuit because it is so, like you said, like it's so solo. Like you collaborate and stuff to a degree, but it's so solo. The only way to practice it is to go up there and be shit at it.
Yeah.
And like even like you said, when you're good at it, you still think you're doing shit.
Yeah.
Like it's a very strange. Even like you said, like the best in the world is even still think they honk.
Yeah.
Like you could have thousands of people paying a lot of money to come and see you, and you can get off stage and be like, "Oh, that went terribly."
Yeah.
Like it's a strange pursuit. and it would lend itself to fucking lunatics. Like you said, like other comedians, like it would just lend itself to fucking dickheads as well.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of good blokes and good chicks and that, but there's be some fucking lemons as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
We were talking about one while the mic's off, but yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't really know, but Joel just did something funny.
He'd be your local postman, actually.
Oh, true.
Not that guy, but there's your local postie.
Yeah.
I know for a fact he's your local postie, the guy who walks around.
Okay.
He's a comic.
Oh, true.
And he's fucking woeful.
He knows where you live.
Yeah, true. Good, I can get some more fucking unasked for advice.
That's all right. Your last name isn't on the podcast, so he doesn't know he only knows your first name.
Yeah,
So as
true.
long as you male's only initialed and not.
I might be sweet.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so if you see him walking around pushing the postie thing.
Push him over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Joel, I wanted to ask you, like, how do you feel about, or do you feel, a competitive nature in comedy?
Well, yeah, like yes and no.
Yeah.
Like,
Because it's a fun collaborative thing, I think, can be.
if you're on a show with other comedians, it's best like a good show, not like an open mic, like a booked paid show. It's like a team. Like you all want to do well. If you do well before, like if someone does well before me, it makes my job easier. You kind of ride that wave.
True.
A lot of early on, you're like, if someone crushes in front of you, you're like, oh fuck, how do I follow? No, that's an easier follow because they're primed, right?
Okay, true.
The audience is like having a good time.
They're in a good mood. They're
They're
ready
not just
to
like,
laugh.
oh fuck, is this next one going to be any good?
You're not trying to start from zero kind
You're
of
not
thing.
starting from zero. You might be a different.
That's good advice.
You might be a different style to the person before you, which is good too because that resets and gives them a different expectation. And audiences respond to changes in energy. So if you have someone who's like really bombastic and loud and stuff, and then you're a bit more quiet and measured, they'll lean in and listen. But if you come in all fucking energy, they're like, whoa, we just had that, like, pump the brakes. So like in a show, like, yeah, everybody wants to do well, make the show a good show. The audience has a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone gets paid. We get the fuck out of there. But yeah, like there's that.
Like, with respect, like, I want to do the best at an open mic. And, and I definitely haven't, fucking obviously. But, like, when I get there, I'm like, I want to fucking make people laugh more than that guy did. Maybe that's a fucking weird sociopath thing, but...
Yeah. No. There's like... So, again, on that lineup show, I generally am in, like, the second half of the show, either, like, open the second half or in the middle. Sometimes I close, but not regularly. Like, generally, the club, they've got a really good interstate or, Sydney comic closing the show unless it's a all local show. And there is a part of me that's like, I'm going to fucking crush this room so this cunt can't follow me.
There it is.
Even though you'd be doing him a favour.
Yeah. No, well, look, I've racked them up for you, mate. All you got to do is knock them down. But it's fantastic when you level the joint and then a guy who's more experienced, potentially like well known, goes up after you and fucking struggles. You stand at the back like, yeah, follow that cunt.
Yeah, I feel like I would feel like that.
Oh, I smashed him. What's wrong with you? Where's my national fucking tour? I think that's vague enough not to point out anyone who it was, but it's happened a few times. But yeah, and there's that professional jealousy that happens, I think, in anything.
Yeah.
100%.
Why have they got why do they get that thing? Why can't I get booked on that show? Why has he got 1 million views and I got 230 on my last reel?
Yeah. That's natural, I suppose.
I think that's whatever you do, man. Like, I think that's anything.
But comparison, like it's an old saying, comparison's the thief of joy. So if you're constantly like, well, why can't I do this or why can't I just keep plugging away?
Yeah.
Like, if it's going to happen, it'll happen. And if it's not, well, fuck it, find another way. And like, that's what me and Benny have been doing is like, because of the kind of comedy we do, we're not they're not going to want us on the fucking comedy festival gala. They're not going to want us on telly or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool, whatever. I don't want to be on fucking television anyway, really. So we're reaching out to regional towns and little places and getting paid good money to go and rock the joint.
Yeah,
which is fantastic. And I'd much rather go do one of those shows to 100 to 300 people, grab 20 followers that are like if they follow you from one of those shows, they're
They're
a
into
fan.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
And get paid good coin to have fun, do what
Yeah.
you want.
It sounds like it's
Free
just
feed and a fucking couple of soft drinks.
it's a better way.
That's getting paid well.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a better way, like in terms of like a holistic approach to building a genuine following and
Yeah.
audience. Because like anyone, like I know it's just like what you have to do. Same with this shit. I fucking hate it. But you got to put clips out, and it's like anyone can see like a clip and be like, "Oh, I think you're funny because of that clip." But like if you got people who are watching your shit and like see ya, like you said, like if you get 20 followers from it, they're going to be 20 followers who are like they're in here.
They're
like they
involved.
like what you do and they're committed.
They'll keep checking back.
Yeah,
They'll be
exact-
like, was he putting anything new out?
Exactly. Whereas like anyone can like see a clip on a reel, like it, and then never see your shit again.
Ever
Never
again.
never come to a show, not give a fuck.
No.
It's obviously a smarter like it's just that thing of like that probably not a lot of people want to do is like put in the time.
Yeah.
Like go and do the small shows and do the shit that other cunts don't want to
And it
do.
means because you can't go there every week, right? Because
Yes.
nature comedy, you don't have a new hour every weekend.
Yes.
Like you're working on the same amount of time. Like me and Ben are both working on our hour. Some of it's really old, some of it's a week old.
How old? Like is it like years?
I'm trying to think of what my oldest joke that I still tell is.
Because that's the other weird thing about comedy.
That's what we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
You do like you will dip back into the bag when
Been there. Amen, brother.
Sometimes I can't stop.
you'll dip back into older stuff if things aren't going well.
Yeah.
And you'll go, this one, I know this one works. And then that doesn't work. And you go,
Oh shit.
Old and reliable.
do I know?
Fuck.
Do I not know anything about this anymore? But I'm trying to like the oldest bit
Like
I
2
do
years,
is
3 years?
probably 2 years,
Yeah.
maybe 3 years. But there's jokes I do from actually that closed a bit that I do about getting robbed in Harlem.
Yes. Yep.
I've been doing that since the start.
Okay. Yeah.
It's changed and it's just gotten shorter. It used to be really long. Now I can get it done in under a minute. But that is my surefire. This is going to work.
Yeah.
I can close strong on this and get out of here. And sometimes I try and fuck. It's a Louis C.K. tactic. You fuck yourself by doing your strongest joke first.
And then you got to fucking
Then you
make
gotta
everything else
You
work.
got to follow it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hectic. Because
True.
we were talking the other week about like one of the. I tried stand up a couple of times, and then
I saw that first.
Yeah. It was cool. It was really good. It's the scariest thing ever. It's so scary. But one of the things I suppose it just comes from like I played footy my whole life, and like if you tell the same joke just in a group of mates. Like I said, around the same bloke twice, like people sled you because they're like, I fucking heard that. Like you said that. Yeah, like obviously the nature of comedy is you have to tell the same shit all the time. And that was just something, and it would 100% just be from being around fucking dickhead mates at pubs. But like just telling the same joke all the time, it was like a weird thing. But I suppose that's the art form is like getting the joke. And that's the only way you can get them good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're doing it in front of different people.
Well, that's the other thing is like you got the same people coming to the comedy club every week, and people are like, I heard that one. So like, there's no way you could
That's
ever
the
have
crazy thing.
Yeah.
2 years of this comedy club, every weekend I do it, the host will get up and be like, who's been to the comedy club before?
Half the room.
Not even 10%.
That's great.
And then you're like, who's here for the first time?
That's
You're like,
so sick.
Where the fuck are all these people coming
Is
from?
Newcastle not that big a place?
What we forget, I'm not going to call myself a Novocastrian, even though I have a Novocastrian son. Half Greek, half Newcastle. God help him.
Loves Beaumont Street. Loves Beaumont Street.
Wait, I'm going to Zeus after this.
Beautiful.
Not a word of lie. We forget it's a holiday destination.
Yes.
People come here on the weekend to.
That's true.
From
I used to
all
do
over.
it, I suppose. Yeah.
So they come and they're like, "What's on?" The club's on early, so you can go out, do the club. You can still go out for dinner afterwards. It's a great place to pre-drink. Some people overdo it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you forget that, and it's been crazy. There's only been a few times, and it's been kind of funny. There's once I did the setup to my first joke, and this woman starts pissing herself at the setup.
She knew it was coming.
She knew what was coming, and I was just like, "What the fuck was so?" And like, what's so funny? Like the setup is, I've been trying to look after my health recently, and she starts pissing herself, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, I know I'm sleep deprived, but what's going on? And the partner goes, "She saw you the other week," and I was just like, "Well, can you fucking not?" Like,
Yeah.
Please don't ruin this for me.
And the funny thing was through that whole set, I think there's a clip, a part of it on Reel somewhere. Is she just was unhinged because anytime I'd set something up, she'd start giggling out of control because she knew what was coming, and it was kind of nice.
It almost is nice because like she still thinks it's funny hearing it again. You know what
She's
I mean?
like, oh, here it comes. Yeah. But it's just like you're ruining the rhythm of this. But I just addressed it and was, like it was fine.
You can just use it.
But yeah, I was just like, are you all right? Like,
Is everything okay? That was the thing I found. I was saying again about like Rogan's, because I went to the mothership and saw Rogan, and then I was watching his last special, and I was like, I've fucking seen all this, which is different, I suppose, because I don't know why I was excited. I was like, obviously he's going to do the stuff he's been doing, but I remember watching the special. I was like, I've seen all this, which I suppose is different. It would be like going twice to see. You'd be like, you kind of know what's coming.
that was when Louis C.K. came out a year or two ago.
Yes.
I went to see the new hour, and then it was like 6 months later, he recorded it and put it out. Instead of being like, oh, I'm going to know all these jokes as a comic, I was just like, well,
what's he changed?
How much did he polish these up? What's different? Is there anything? Are there any new tags? And the funny thing was,
I noticed that when I go to the fucking open mics too. Like I'm like, oh, I've seen this one, and then
But it's
they mix
changed
something
just a
up a
little
bit.
bit.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
now it works, or that bit's finished now.
Yeah.
And I had friends who saw it. He dropped in at the Comics Lounge in North Melbourne, and he literally came on stage with his notebook.
Yeah.
And was working through bits for the biggest comedy club in the country, arguably one of the biggest comics in the world, and he still just wanders on with the notebook and is like, what about this?
Jim Jeffries did that. He did his set. He played the Entertainment Centre, it might have been 2 years ago now. But he did like his set, and then he fucked around for an hour.
Yeah.
So like the set finished, and then he was clearly just trying shit for a full hour in front of like 6,000 people.
I saw him do 2.5 hours.
That's how long the whole thing was.
in Melbourne. And I was just like, how the fuck's he still going?
I was like, holy fuck, this has been going for like 2 hours. But the first hour was clearly very polished and like that was his set.
Yeah.
And then he was just trying shit for an hour. I was like, that's a wild way to try stuff out in front of 6,000 people.
Fuck it, why not?
Oh, I mean, how else is he going to do it?
That's his audience too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not rolling up to open mics.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Once you get that big, you can get paid to practice.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
they do these little small tours and they're just
But-
practicing.
Like you said, no one's immune. When Chappelle was in Sydney,
Yes.
he went and did Enmore Theatre, the open mic. Well, it's a book show, but
It's Dave Chappelle.
for Dave Chappelle, it's an open mic. He bumped two of my mates.
Oh, really?
So they could be like, I got bumped by Dave Chappelle.
Take that.
I got to see Chappelle.
Yeah.
Bombed his dick off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was in Sydney in the inner city and he was doing his trans shit.
Yeah.
And they were just like, no.
Yeah.
And he did 40 minutes or something.
Well, I was listening to
But yeah, biggest, arguably best comedian in the world. Put him in front of a small inner city crowd, not in a stadium, not in a
He wouldn't
place
have given
where
a
everybody
fuck
loves.
either. Just
Not
sit there-
one fuck.
Sit there ripping darts like you guys suck. See you later.
Yeah, but that's the thing. No one's immune.
Yeah, Mark Norman was saying like they'll be on a show like with Chappelle and they'll be like, oh, I thought like you were way funnier than him. But it's like they're doing different things. I'm
Yeah.
doing my shit that I'm pretty sure works. He's doing
He's just trying shit.
everything
Yeah.
from the ground up. You know what I mean? People walk out going like, oh, you're way funnier than Chappelle. It's like, just right now. Like, like just right now I am.
Tonight,
Yeah.
I was. Put my special up against his special and
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the numbers even if you just want to do it from that way. This many people watched his and this many people
Yeah.
watched mine.
Went
Mine's,
saw-
mine's on YouTube, his is on Netflix.
I went and saw Mark Norman. He was fucking unbelievable. He was so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. He's
Such
like,
a great joke, right?
oh, it's just like a machine gun too. Just like joke after joke after. You're just catching your breath from what he just said, and then he's on to the next. Just face melting.
I just find him fun. I just think he's a fun comedian. Like
Yeah.
he says some
Hey,
rogue
comedy.
shit. Exactly. But he's just like, my voice is crazy. I'm throwing my voice a bit. And I'm like, you're tricking me into having fun. And I like it.
He just comes out. He just came out and went like that. He just went like this silly face that he does. And everyone's like, ah.
There's a doco, I just saw it this morning. I think you got to pay $3 or something to watch it. It's 15 minutes, but it's good. Filmmaker filmed it with Norman, taking a joke from open mics. It's just one joke.
Oh, cool.
And it's him working this one joke out from open mics to the Comedy Cellar to Carnegie Hall.
wow.
That's a cool premise. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And I was like, yeah, fucking I'll sign up. $3. Fuck.
So I ripped
crazy.
it off Pirate Bay.
Yeah, obviously. pirated it.
It'll pop up
Yeah.
for free eventually. But and I've seen like snippets of stuff like this before with him. But the great idea, and just seeing like him do it and it bomb and be like, yeah, there's something there, and then it shows him in the cab going fucking.
He's got his little notepad that he uses.
Sits on his-
It's fucking like that thick.
And just working on it and going, well, what if I fucking put this here and that there? Going to the next gig and going, what about this?
Yeah.
Oh, that bit worked, but that. All right. And then getting to, a 10,000 seat room and crushing with it and going, there it is.
There it is. We did it.
He was saying this one, like he goes, is there any gay people in the crowd? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, thanks for coming out. And like people, but people weren't getting it.
Yeah.
So this was like his like little tidbit on how to fix. He's like, so I'd be like, he'd do the same thing. Thanks for coming out. And you just go, like he would do a silly face. So people was like, oh, he just told a
That
joke.
was a joke.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield, one of my favourite comics. Rodney?
I don't actually.
Caddyshack?
He's a big fella, yeah.
Maybe not. No,
Caddyshack?
I'm in the.
Oh, what's the... yeah. Can you get it from that?
That was two really bad impressions of Rodney. But
right at the same time, too.
my wife told me we had to cut down on sex. And she cut me down to once a week. But two guys she cut out completely. Like that style of 80s comedy. Great dude. Amazing comedian. Used to have a club in New York. A lot of people aside him as like a influence.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot what the fuck I was saying. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. So the tell, he'd tell a joke, and like they're very structured one-liner jokes, but he'd straighten his tie.
Oh,
Like so, he'd tell the joke and go.
yeah.
It was that tell of like laugh now.
Yeah. Which is weird that some people would need.
And
it,
Joey
like, just-
Diaz, he took that from Dangerfield. So you know when Joey will tell a joke and then he goes, ha 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 ha,
Cocksucker.
yeah. Like he shows the audience that's funny, laugh here.
Yeah.
And it gets bits that because some of his stuff.
this is fun for me.
Some of his
This
stuff is
fun.
horrific.
Yeah.
And some of the audience are going to be like, ugh.
Yeah.
And it's like, he thinks he's having a good time.
I'm joking. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, my son's named after Diaz.
What's he called? Coco?
Yes.
No, Joey Savage.
Joey Sav.
Really?
Yep.
That's fucking awesome.
I like that. Joey Sav.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Joey Diaz is a fucking maniac.
Oh, I love him.
Holy
He was one of the big inspirations for me to actually give it a crack.
I was just going to say, who's your Mount Rushmore?
Good question.
I'll tell you about the Joey thing. I know I'll do the Mount Rushmore, but I was listening to Church of What's Happening Now, like religiously, still in my marriage, and was emailing Joey because he gave out his email address and you could just email him and within a couple of days he'd email you back.
Wow.
So I'd like be like, this fucking really helped me, this thing you talked about, and he'd be like, oh, I'm glad hey, I'm really glad you enjoyed our little chit chat. Keep doing what you're doing, cocksucker.
That's pretty good.
Chit chat, yeah.
But yeah, I just chat with him back and forth.
At least you thought it was him.
No, it definitely was.
That's
Okay.
it.
Because he would say on the podcast, he goes, get in, I'll fucking reply to my emails.
Oh, okay.
Some
yeah.
fucking crazy people in there. Stop emailing me with your fucking mental illness. This isn't a fucking charity, cocksucker. But yeah, he was talking about his wife took off with a kid and he kidnapped the dude and all that shit and didn't know what to do in his life, and he was in prison, and then he was like, fuck it, I'm going to give it a crack. And then, my fucking marriage was falling apart. My mental health was not in a good place. And I was just like, and then when the divorce happened, I went, all right, Joey, let's fucking go.
It's time.
And then I listened to Joey's book, and the funny thing was, he's like, the first time I got on stage, I was like, so I want to kill my ex-wife. And there's a whole bunch of material I did was really similar. I had no idea about that. And I was just like, so there is that kind of synchronicity.
It's a very
reason
human
why you
emotion when you
connect.
kill your ex-wife.
Oh, yeah. It's
Real relatable.
Natural. Everyone can relate to it.
Very relatable.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, who are the dudes or women?
Norm MacDonald,
Norm. Fuck, how good's Norm?
Rushmore's 5, right?
4.
4, right? Yeah, 4.
Norm, it was the anniversary of his death today.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
How good's that?
So Norm MacDonald,
Norm's amazing, man.
Louis C.K., named another one of my sons after him.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, so I've got a Louis and a Joey.
That's great.
Both cool names.
Yeah. So Louis, Norm. I'd have to say Eddie Murphy because that was the first thing I saw. That was like the first cassette tape. I'm aging myself here, but I got delirious when I was really young, and it was the first time I saw that it was a thing that you could do. So I've got to give Eddie credit. Yeah, probably Dave.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
He's the king.
But then, like, I could list
Yeah.
like 10 more people. Yeah, but those four. Yeah, Norm's joke writing was impeccable.
He's so funny. What was he was with who was the late night TV host? There's just a clip that I got the other day. Yeah, when he's like, I'm a deeply closeted gay man. He's like, so you gay? And he's like, no, don't tell anyone. And he's getting real confused. He's like, but that means you're gay. He goes, hey, take it easy, buddy.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing, man. Like,
I've seen that one.
reminds me of that plane crash. that plane crash. Oh, fuck.
Some of my favorite noises is like, I saw this guy, he smashed 64 eggs on his head and got himself into the Guinness Book of fucking retards.
Simple and to the point.
Yep.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
No, he's fantastic, Norm. Yeah, I saw when I was in New York, I saw Letterman live, which was cool.
Wow.
Shit episode. But
What did you went to the show?
yeah.
Fuck, that's hectic.
really crap episode. But
Yeah.
it was cool to see
Yeah.
Dave do his like 5 minutes before the show of like warm up material and then film the show.
How good.
That famous fucking studio, Ed Sullivan Theatre.
We went to the Comedy Store. That was another cool thing. Like you're talking about blokes like dropping in and bumping people.
Yeah.
Like we didn't see it, but they're like, I think a lot of people, especially tourists and that, would go to like the Comedy Store or one of those joints in, or is it the Cellar? Sorry, the Comedy Cellar.
The Cellar's in New York.
Yeah.
Went there a couple of times, but never saw anyone.
No one came in.
No one of note.
Well, me and the missus.
Everyone was fucking killer. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like Seinfeld.
Nah, that's the thing. Like Chappelle might just drop in, and me and the missus were like, and nothing. But it was still very cool to go there. Tiny little room, tiny low ceiling.
That's the key. This is the low roof.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because the sound can't go anywhere. So when a big laugh hits, bang, it lands on top of it.
So it sounds unreal.
Sounds massive.
Yeah.
Was Bobby Kelly did a his special was called Killbox, and that's what Louis said because Louis was the producer or whatever. That's the best rooms. They call them a Killbox, nice and tight. Low roof. Because you want them crammed in, you want them sitting on top of each other.
Yeah.
That's why the Newcastle Comedy Club is perfect.
Great.
Low roof, dark.
All on top of each
Laughter's
other.
contagious.
Something
Everyone's
about
hearing.
having to go either upstairs or downstairs. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Something about having to go up into the place. Or
I'd love to go downstairs.
The amount of
I wanna
people
go
though,
downstairs.
who come into the club, and I've heard them say it coming up the stairs, they're like, I know I just went upstairs, but I feel like I've gone downstairs.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. I
It
feel
feels
that
like a
exact
basement,
way.
that place.
It's the weirdest thing.
It's
and
awesome.
I've
It's
heard
fucking
it from
sick.
different people so many times. Just punters walking in going, I know I just walked upstairs, but why do I feel I went downstairs?
It does feel basementy. It's
Yeah.
got a bit of a
Which I
basement
love
vibe
about
about
it.
Yeah.
Especially in fucking summer. Those fucking air conditioners do fuck
Fuck
all.
all.
I've got that to look forward to too.
Might be time for the boys to upgrade. You know, nice Dakin.
No, that's good too. Something about the audience being a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, someone was talking about that on Rogan the other day, and like, you don't want it to be cool. You don't want like a cold room. Like you want them to be a little bit hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There needs to be, because it's an uncomfortable thing. Like there's no reason for the person who's up there to be up there talking.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that was like the first thing you said to me. Like when I was doing my open mic, Joel gave me some advice, which was fucking awesome. Actually, he's just like, don't be afraid of the silence. They're just listening. Like,
Yeah.
there's no reason for you to be talking, but they're just there listening. It's all good. And I was like, oh, sweet.
That's heaps good.
yeah, silence is good until you've said the punchline.
Yeah.
then there's silence, and you're like, you still listening?
Yeah. Were you listening at all?
Yeah, because if
I
you're
said
still
the funny
listening, I
thing.
said the funny bit.
That was hilarious.
yeah.
Hit him with a cocksucker. Yeah. Adjust the tie. All good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll use cocksucker.
Yeah. Just call him on cocksuckers. It's great. It's fucking great.
Oh, there's been a lot of
Cocksucker.
times I've felt I've got that energy in me, and I just want to
Turn on them.
What's going on, you bad motherfuckers?
You do you ever get like real? I've seen a video of crowd work stuff and that. You ever genuinely like turned on anyone?
Oh, bro, all the
All
time.
the time.
Violently. Yeah. I got a bit of a reputation for it. I'm quick on the trigger.
Can be nasty.
Yeah. I'll go for the jugular.
Good.
Yeah, my favourite one recently was it's one I'd had in the back pocket for ages, but hadn't been able to use it. And I was doing this bit, and it was something about sex, and this chick in the crowd goes, "Oh, beggars can't be choosers." And I went fucking serial killer. Like, I watched the video back, I put it out, but I was just like, ugh. Because I go, I wasn't begging. Like, I try to start explaining myself, and I go, and I look just dead-eyed out into the crowd and go, "I don't like being interrupted." And I'm like, I saw the video back. I'm like, what happens next? I know what happens next, but I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking serial killer shit, Joel. And I said, "Hey, do you know what the difference between me and you is?" She's like, "What?" I go, "You came out of your mum and I."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crowd liked it.
Yeah, the crowd popped huge for it. And but it's just variations on the theme. Like, find out their name, find out what. Like, if they interrupt the show, okay, cool. You wanted attention now.
Yeah, now you get
now
it.
you fucking got it, cunt. You think you're funnier than me? There's a reason I'm up here and you're there.
You're getting it. I got a microphone too.
Yeah. What's the Adam Sandler? I've got a microphone, so you listen to everything I have to fucking say.
Sandman.
No, I'm louder than you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna win this. Like, you. The thing though with hecklers is if they get something off and it crushes,
Can destroy you.
no, let them have it
Yeah.
You're on their side now.
because they're laughing.
Yeah, true. So they're still kind of doing you a favour.
Nah, not they're doing you. They're always interrupting the show and it's fucked. But if they actually get something off that's genuinely funny and you've kind of engaged them and they get one off on you, let the laugh sit, let it go. That gives you time to be like, oh yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
What about this?
Yeah, okay.
But them scoring points is pretty rare. Generally, they're fucking just drunk idiots.
Just want to be involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excited to be
There was
there.
the other one recently, Davo. When the show was finished, we went to Davo's seat and he had 12 plastic cups. So he had about 12 fucking G&Ts.
Let's go, Davo.
Which is impressive because like the staff there won't fucking serve you that much.
Yeah.
So he was sending
Getting people to get them for him.
getting
Respect.
2 or 3 at a time. And it's only a 2-hour show. So he's putting away 6 G&Ts an hour.
Jeez, gins are fucking chugging gins are fucking pretty loose.
So he wouldn't shut up through the whole show.
Yeah.
And I was on towards the end and I was doing a bit. He chimed up and goes, "Is that you, Davo?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "Listen, Davo, I'm trying to work up here, mate. I don't come to your job and stop you fucking shoving those kids in the van."
Yeah.
Massive pop. He shuts the fuck up. We move on.
Move on.
Yeah.
How good.
Do you find like the rise of like crowd work clips and stuff like that? Because clearly that's the nature of doing that is you're not burning your material and you're gaining an audience. That's my impression. Do you think it like has made the
I don't
rise of the
believe in
heckler?
the whole burning the material thing. Like,
Okay, yeah. Why not?
like realistically, if you're putting out your jokes on Instagram Reels, okay, cool. Best case scenario, 1 million people see it, right?
Yes.
2 million, whatever.
Yeah.
How many of those cunts are in Newcastle?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
How many of those
that's a
people are
good
actually
take.
going to come see a show? 0.01%, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
So the people that are showing up to shows are not seeing those clips. And if they have seen the clip, they've seen, like you said, they see it once, they never see it again.
Yeah.
And then they see, oh, I know this joke, but they don't know the other 7 minutes.
True.
So, and I think comedians use that as an excuse not to put out content. And either do or don't. I don't care.
Yeah,
Horses for courses. But people that are like, oh, I've only got 200 followers. It's like, yeah, because you're not putting anything out there. Like,
So
you
why
posted a story that you're going to be at the fucking Valentine Bolo next month. No one's following you because of that.
Yeah.
Like,
no value in that.
yeah,
really.
you reposting things or like that's not going to do anything. You need to give them something.
Yeah.
Right. But the crowd work thing is, I think it's made people heckle more.
It has, yeah.
But it's also made people think that's what comedy is.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kind of come expecting this or like even online, they're like, oh, this is all this cunt does. It's like, no, that's all he puts out.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm always stoked when I get a good like little crowd work clip because it's not repeatable. It's going to happen that one time and it's like beautiful. This is something that I can easily just go.
See ya.
Whereas when I put out one of my jokes, and I've been doing this recently, there's old clips that got good views or whatever. They were poorly filmed. Like they were filmed with my phone at the back of the room. The sound's all right, but the video's really crap. Ethan at the club films everything professionally now, and then when you finish your set, you get sent the video on the weekends.
Yeah.
So I've kind of gone through and been like, all right, well, that video did all right. I'll clip it with good quality. I'll delete the old one and I'll put the new one, like the best version of it. So I've kind of been putting like the best version of a bunch of jokes that I've put out up on up on Reels. And, you know, like the ones you want to perform never do, and then the ones that you don't think are going to do anything go fucking wild.
We know that. Yeah.
It's a lottery. But like the lottery, you got to buy a ticket to fucking, you know, so whatever. And like I don't put a lot of weight in it. Like I get the same rush as anyone else who's playing the pokies.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, one went off, fucking sick. Look at the fucking things go. And then you're like, yeah, but it doesn't really do anything.
Nah.
Like I got a shitload of followers through doing Comedy Untamed and being on their videos because they get a lot of views, a lot of likes. Generally my Instagram, because I'm usually collaborated with them. I'm like, oh fuck, I just got like 100 likes. I'm like, oh, it's for a Comedy Untamed video.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take it.
But then
they might like too.
4 or 5 followers come through and it's like, sweet.
Good.
And yeah, a few of the earlier ones really fucking just blew my followers out. And then someone was like, well, you've got X amount of followers. Like, what difference does that make? And I'm like, none.
Nothing.
That's what I was kind of going to ask you.
I still have to email clubs and rooms and room runners and be like, hey, this is me. Here's a 10-minute video. Here's where I've worked. Here's where I work with, like sending a resume and a job application. If you like me, here's my references. So here's like 3 comedians that are good that say I'm good. And if you ask them, they will say that I'm good. And yeah, you hope for the best. Get booked some places, other places you never hear back from.
Yeah.
So there's some rooms in Melbourne that I've wanted to get on for a while and can't get a response. Whatever, fuck them. No, well, I made the decision.
Please have me.
Made the decision recently to next, like when I go down to Melbourne, I'm just going to run my own show. Have enough friends, fans and family down there that haven't seen me in a few years that if I put on 1 or 2 shows, they'll sell out.
Yeah, sick.
That's sick.
Suck my dick. I can take the whole pot or you can give me, you know, comic pay for 5 minutes where I can do 45 minutes and
Run your own race kind of thing.
run my own race.
Yeah, fucking oath.
And I'm only I'm down there to see the kids. Generally, I don't have time to do many shows, if any. So if I'm going to make it work, and then I can pay for my flights and
Beautiful.
whatever else. And,
Yeah, tax write off. Go and visit the kids. Go and perform.
well, that'd be nice. But yeah, no, the whole the crowd work thing it works for some people. The thing that I find more cringy is people that post their stand-up clips and they're bombing.
You don't like that?
Or they're getting that they think they're doing well.
Oh, okay.
And it's
So I was going to say, one of my favourite guys at the moment is this guy that just bombs, but he's fucking going out there to bomb.
Definitely
It's so good.
If it's on purpose. It's cool.
And
there's
people that are like,
there's been a few times I'm like, where I've had really bad bombs where I've wanted to post a bit and then the subsequent meltdown from me because it's funny.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny.
But there's usually guys that are just starting because they're seeing everybody else posting.
and they're
clips
excited to have a clip of him doing stand up.
Look, I filmed this one. It looks actually half decent. It's like 2 people laughed.
Yeah.
Maybe there was 5 people in the room. Save it, bro.
Yeah.
So if that joke works, it's going to work in front of more people. Film it in front of more people. Get a big laugh. Film it. And then put that up. But you telling a half-cooked fucking joke that doesn't work and then one girl laughs at it because she feels sorry for you and then you put that up and then the next video is you complaining that you're not getting any support or views. It's like, I can't, like...
You can't have it both ways, can you?
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, put out a quality product.
Okay. Yeah. I respect that opinion.
Speaking of quality product, you and Benny, you doing shows at the moment?
Yeah.
Where is that?
We've got Valentine Bowling Club on the long weekend coming.
Great little bolo. I grew up on the lake there. It's a fucking great
So
spot.
we've got the room upstairs overlooking the lake.
Nice.
So me and Benny will fuck that view for everybody.
Good spot for a schooner.
Yep. So we've got that October 5th, I think that is.
Okay, sweet, cool. I was trying to do the math on when this episode's coming out.
It'll be
That's
out
good.
by
Yep.
then.
Tickets
yeah.
on sale now.
Tickets on sale now. Link in the show notes.
Yep.
Yeah, sweet. What else is coming up? Cheeky Dog, which is this coming Thursday.
Is that with the Bish? That's the one that Bradley
Brad
runs?
Bish.
Awesome.
And a few Sydney comics. So me, Brad, and a few Sydney comics this coming Thursday. Club next weekend. What else is there's a couple more on the horizon. Oh, I got a fucking sick gig. It's a golf day for November, right?
Nice.
They've hired me to stand at the tee and roast the golfers.
As they come past.
No, as they're teeing off. And if I can make them fuck up their tee, they have to donate money to
Amazing.
That's fun.
So 4 hours, I just get to stand out on the tee and roast cunts.
That sounds
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good gig.
When the guy hit me up about it, I was like,
Yes.
yes. And then he's like, oh, and this is the money. And I was like, well, fucking how many hours do you want me to do it for?
How good is that?
Film those.
What I'm going to do
That would be great.
because
Clips.
there's guys that do it. You've probably seen them on reels or stuff. That's their whole stick. They go out to golf courses and
Just-
roast people as they're walking around. So I've kind of been watching those for ideas, but it doesn't really work like to steal ideas because it's really dependent on
Who, the
what's in front
individual.
of you.
Yeah.
But they kind of film it just like they're filming the golfer and you can hear them talking. So most of the day, I'll probably wear a shirt with a top pocket, slide the phone in, just leave it recording.
Yeah.
Go George Floyd, get a nice body cam. Fucking little body cam happening. And then delete the footage if it goes bad.
Yeah.
Just
Well, even the guys from the golf club are like, oh, they might give it back once they've got a skinful. And I was like,
yeah, good.
That's the game we're playing.
I'm good, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be right.
Don't worry about it. I can give as good as I get.
Fucking oath.
And yeah, they're not going to hurt my feelings.
You'll be
It's
right.
fine.
That's great.
I'll just remind them how much I'm getting paid. I'm paid to be here, mate. You're giving away money. You just fucked that drive up. That's another $50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good shit.
That's great.
Yeah, but that's a good one coming up. But yeah, generally just at the club on the weekends and
Beautiful.
check the link in my Instagram bio. You can see what dates and where I'm going to be.
What's that at Joel Pearse?
Yep, Joel.Pearse.
Beautiful. Fucking oath.
Cool. That was fun, guys. Anything else?
No, I've got nothing going on. Failed. I went and looked at expensive houses today. Couldn't. Just wasted my time. Wasted like the whole morning.
Yeah.
That's what's going on with me. You got anything good?
I got to go vote.
Yeah, I did that
How
yesterday.
fun's that?
Yeah, I did that yesterday. I was like, I'm not fucking wasting my Saturday
You're a
doing this
smart
shit.
man.
Yeah.
I did it this morning and I got there and they're like, yeah, you're not on the list. I'm like, fucking cunt. I was on the list when I voted in the federal election. So what happened?
It's fucking.
I've got an
sucks.
old address and da-da-da.
Why are we not doing this online? Why is it not an app where you just go bang
100%.
next? Fucking waste my time.
No
Anyway,
one cares who fucking wins anyway. Just decide for yourself.
Nothing changes.
Let's just say I voted.
you guys sort it
Yeah.
out.
And $3 a fucking sausage, go fuck yourselves.
Oh, give them
$3.
away.
They used to be free. I
Yeah.
swear to God, when I used to vote, you free sausage on the way out. $3 a sausage and the cunts were cold.
That sucks. $3 is way too much.
If the
Should be
fucking
one
they spend enough money on like posters and shit, it's like surely how bad do you want to win? Put a fucking sausage sizzle on.
It's the primary school or whatever that's running.
Fuck the
that's running
schools,
it.
mate.
I can be fucking bought. I can be bought for sure. Give me a
100%.
snag. I'll vote for you.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
like I don't really care either way, but whoever was giving me a snag, I would vote for.
That's a move for independence.
yeah.
Where they're all standing out the front, just set up a fucking Weber.
Be like, you got it. Or stand next to the ballot box and be like, they watch you vote independent and they don't give you the snag until they see. That's the go.
I get in there, I
Take a
fold my
photo
paper
with your
and I
phone,
fucking
bring
put
it
in
out.
there.
Come out, show me you voted independent, bang, snag, and can of
And
Coke.
if you do our preferences, we'll give you a fucking hamburger.
Yeah, and a can of Coke and onion.
Way.
Beautiful.
Vote one blue.
Vote one blue. I'm a fucking man of the people. Jolly, appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Nice one.
Later.
You're my boy, Blue!